Yeah, hello there. Welcome back to the grind. And we're pretty well done on the BMW 2002 E10 1976. Done enough that we put a bow on it, right? So that's actually kind of nice to be finished. This week, like, we did quite a bit of little stuff, you know, a new battery, got it running, which hasn't been running for about a month. Checked all the lights that they're working. There's a little tick 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 in the transmission housing. I don't know what that's all about. I was looked into it, but I can't find anything that's making noise. Likely just something touching, right? And put some antifreeze in it. Finished up the trim, and that was where I had to go and get it tied down here, and then put the bottom trim on the bottoms of the doors on both sides. They were a bit of a challenge. And I adjusted up the driver's side door so that it's a little bit better than it was. Got the windshield whoppers whopping, so that'll squirt water on the windshield. Wrapped the exhaust with some heat wrap, and then I found there was a piece of metal that I've been chasing around for a long time, trying to figure out where it went. I finally figured out where it went, and it's a heat guard for the steering gear underneath the pipes. And then put the stuff in the trunks of the car, and that's pretty well got it covered. Nice. I'll put a little clip in here in between showing what it looked like when we brought it here. And it needs to have rubbers on the windows. That's quite the that's interesting. Oh, there's stuff in there. There's stuff everywhere. Those are the tin for down there.
Repairing?
Yeah. Well, there's carburetor and stuff. Nice to know the carburetor's here.
Exhaust manifold.
Exhaust manifold. That actually is in pretty good shape in here, so that's okay.
Yeah, the only place that you could see through up here, so I think it was there.
Yeah. Anyhow, it's a 1976 BMW 2002 model. There's no steering wheel there, but there's a steering wheel somewhere, I'm sure. And the keys are somewhere in here. I saw him with his hand putting them in, so they're in there. This is all held together. Oh, they can see right through here. I have a car cover. I think I'll put the car cover on it. And then this will open up like that. Oh yeah, and there's the motor. There's the motor and the transmission. Oh. Kind of right there. Oh yeah, and there you can get into the car right there, so that's no problem. There is a bit of work to do on this thing. That's okay though. And then then we'll go. That's 43 episodes, so that's like 43 weeks of car work on this thing, and came out pretty nice. I got a new badge for the front, and I did have I took that badge and put it on the back, but it's not the correct one for the back. It'll do for now. I'll see if I can find the correct one for the back. It's got a gap, like it has a hoopy thing like that on it, eh? Anyway, pretty happy with it all, and sometime this week we'll get it outside, and not right now. It's minus pretty major out there, but sometime this week we'll get it out and maybe get some pictures of it on the outside. So hope you've enjoyed this series. It's nice to see something come to fruition. I think we've got a pretty nice little car here. I'll get it in I have to wait till the spring before I get it in to have it inspected and everything like that, and hopefully get it on the road this summer. So that's 3 of them that are on the road. There'll be the E24, which is over in the other garage. It's normal. The Porsche is on the road, and this will be on the road. And 4 of them, I'll get the truck out on the road too. And the TR7, it's set to be inspected also. So we'll see about that one. Okay. Anyway, that's enough of me babbling on. Enjoy all this stuff, and We'll see you next time. Bye for now. Yeah, there it's New Year's Eve 2026. Well, tomorrow's 2026. It's 2025 right now. And can you think of a better way to spend it than to spend it out in the shop with one of your favorite cars ever? So I went and got a new battery for it today, because the one that's in it came out of my Tiguan, which was worn out for the Tiguan, but it seemed to work all right for here for a while, but not working very well anymore. Put it on the charger just to refresh it. I'll get it stuck into there. Then there's a few other little things that I want to do. I forget what they are, but I'll get to work on them as soon as I figure out what they are. And we'll the finish putting, I've got some more antifreeze, but I got the kind that's not you have to mix it half and half with water, but in there was a bunch of water. I put a half a gallon of mixed antifreeze in there, but because all the straight water was in the motor, I'm just going to put another half a gallon of unmixed antifreeze in there and see how close it gets to the top. And then I've got a tester to test the antifreeze level. After I run it a bit, I'll run it a bit and then check that out. Okay, that's sort of a start there. Oh, that's the thing for the windshield wiper thing. Okay, now I'm going to work on what I think I'll do with the windshield wiper stuff is sort of just build a little thing here on the 3D printer that'll fit on there and be able to poke up through that when I close the door, and then squirt the window, and I'll run the hose through this right here and through that over there. That should work. And I've got a new pump coming along, plus hoses and connectors, so that should all work out okay. Yeah, there are new batteries in it. That's the battery group that came in the car originally, so it's got a little bit of room at the front there, and that lets the power steering, or not the power steering, that lets the transmission cooler pipes get through there without getting interfered with. And that battery there is a bit longer, so it was touching up against the pipes, and guaranteed for 3 years, so that's fine. And like the last 10 years, like that one did, and that one there still has power in it, but not, the cranking power isn't as good as it used to be. Well, now let's see if the thing will start. It's got new battery, right? So 2 makes it go. That thing there flashing like that, right? Foot on the brake. Then that gives it a good start. Nothing yet. Do I have something unhooked over there? Don't know. Yeah, it runs. Fuel says a half a tank, pretty close. Must be charging because that's what it's doing. Somewhere there's a meter of some sort. I knocked off the high idle right away, so I better open the garage door a bit. I'll let it run for a while and warm up. Put it on a bit of a higher idle. I don't know what that knocking is in there, but it cuts out as soon as it warms up. I think it's an oil pressure thing. That's the first time it's run in a month or two. So, I guess it's alright. We'll just let it warm up and see how it comes out. Yeah, headlights, blinker light. Then it's idling 12.34 volts, but idle it up a bit. Charging good. I think that's the original. That's the alternator that came with it. I think it was, I don't remember way back when, but I think I had to take that apart and kind of free it up a bit. Anyhow, that blinker works. And that blinker works. Light, 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 light. Got a little side light on it there yet? Light. Gotta fix that. There must be a bad connection there. Okay, we'll get to that. Sounds all right back here. Then I can see the blinker blinking over there. High beam, low beam. That the other side working too. Low beam there, right? High beam there. Oh, yep. So that's good. That blinking I can see reflected there. That light's still on. This blinker's going. That's a good sign everything's working. And that starter button seems to work okay. Now I gotta reach in there and see if I can get the emergency flashers to go. There's that button down there. Seems to be going. Blink, blink, blink there. That one's going. That one's going. That one up there is going. That one up there is going. That's all right. They all work. Horn. Yep, horn works. Oops, that's the wrong button. Turned off on that button there, right? Yeah, Fernando lights come on. Hey, dash lights come on. You can dim them, and that dims everything, right? Good. I'll leave them on. Clock, of course, is not working. One of these days I might get that clock fixed, or put a tachometer in there or something. Now, something I wish I had noticed before, that you can see right through there. So that door has to come this way a bit, and maybe up a bit, maybe, I don't know, got to go this way a bit anyhow. Okay, well that's, I've got all the door card and everything on there. Oh, we do it right because we do it 3 or 4 times. Lights are off and 13.7 at idle, so that's charging properly. Now, what temperature are we at here? Where's my trusty temperature tool? Right here. So on the top of the heater, 48 degrees Celsius, so it's just barely warming up. Down on the lower hose, 17 degrees, so it's, I don't think the thermostat's opened yet, but there is warmth going in here, so the water is circulating. And it's not going down any yet, so we'll just wait and see. I'll wait till it warms up good and then start circulating. A little bit of warmth there now, so must be circulating a bit there. So the thermostat must be opening up a bit. 27 degrees, 31 degrees, 40 degrees on the thermostat thing, so it'll be slowly opening up. Anyway, I think it opens up at like 70 or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll let her warm up for a little while more and just let her run. don't know what that noise was, but I think it was this thing here. I think I'm going to unhook that, what do they call that thing? The air pump, because I don't think it's doing me any good. But now, you heard that knocking, you can hear that knocking, it's right back here. It's not on the motor side, it's on right there on the, in the bell housing. It's something, one of those bolts too long, is it touching something? I don't know. I might have to take this cover off and just see if the noise goes away if I take the cover off, right? Or maybe one of those bolts that holds on to the, whatever, where it joins into the transmission there is not tight enough and it's touching on something. But all the temperatures seem to be okay. Like the oil temperature here is 50 degrees at the back, 48 at the front, 34 at the line there. This is 38. Up there is 48. So it's slowly starting to circulate a bit, I think. It takes a long time for this motor to warm up. 52 degrees up there. Then if you go on the exhaust ports, that one 133, that one 142, that one's 100, 213, that's pretty hot. 213 at the back, 213 there, 81.2, 126, 143, 176, 123, and then that's where the air is pumping in there. That cools off the front end of the exhaust. So I think I'll get rid of this thing here. I don't like that. I don't like that pump. I don't think it's long for lights anyhow. Anyway, underneath here there's no leaks anywhere in the exhaust. And I think this is just touching on there. So that needs a little bit of a twist here to make that go up a bit, right? But it gets close there too. Oh well. Yeah, and you can hear a little bit of a leak right there's a bit of a leak. Only 57 degrees back here. 25 degrees in the muffler. I think we're okay. Pretty good for a 50-year-old car. Yeah, I'll get rid of that air pump because I don't think it's doing me any good. It's making noise. And I think I can just cut that belt and take that belt off there, and that'll do that. Okay, well, I'll do that later. But right now, bring it down and then check the antifreeze level in it. I closed the door, so I'll have to shut it off here pretty quick. I just wanted to show you the sequence for shutting off this thing. Oh, the heater works good. I think I just have to hit that button. No? Yeah, you hit the brake button, hit that button, shuts it off. Then that one beep disarms it. That works pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. And then this thing here, like, double beep it, and it'll likely just start right up on this button here now. Takes it a second to, there, it's alive. Yeah, so it just starts on that button there when it's warm without any trouble at all. Okay, didn't get hardly above the cold mark, but yeah, so when you're driving you have to have the brake on to shut it off. Then that goes down and disarms it. One bump, one beep, it is disarmed. Then this thing here, if you really want it to, like, the key will go in there. Alright? You can put the key in there, whether it's in that position or not. Wrong key. Put this key in there. Yeah, that's this key. Maybe it goes this way. Nope. I guess I'm not gonna screw with that, eh? So far. So that makes it so that you can lock the steering wheel, maybe, or maybe not. Apparently not. Yeah, there it is. It's going in there now, but it won't turn. So I'll just leave well enough alone there. It's got to turn around to lock the steering wheel. Okay, I don't know. Can you see that button there? It's good for minus 23 Celsius, minus 10 Fahrenheit, which is plenty good for anything around here. If I was going up to the Arctic, I'd have to put more in there, but that'll be fine. Okay, put this back into the radiator. Oh, there you are, looking at the floor. Yeah, I guess you're supposed to have the fluid level up to that line there, and that thing pointing upwards. Now it's minus 18 Celsius, 0 degrees Fahrenheit, so that'll be fine for anything around here. Never ever gets below minus 20 here, so that's good. Okay, a couple of things. I took this hose off of this, or the belt off of this. You hear that? It just 50 years old, doesn't work very well. Then I've got this strap wrench that I put on here to turn the motor over, and I've gone to each one of these. This is on the flywheel thing, and I've gone to each one of these bolts and just checked to see if they aren't protruding a bit, and they're all tight. So whatever's ticking in there is somewhere behind there. Don't know what it is, but we'll let it tick for a while, and maybe it'll manifest itself into something. Maybe not. We'll wait and see. Anyway, I'll put this all back up in there. I just loosened off the ones up in there that holds that hose on, because I didn't want to pull that bolt out of there, because for fear it'd never go back in again. Okay, now these ones here are 10 millimeters down here and a ½ inch up there, up on the top one there. Okay, let me get this done. Yeah, there's a strap wrench. I don't know if you've seen those things. They're pretty handy. So you can turn it either way and tighten the strap around whatever you have, and then hold it on here and turn it. And this, wait, I'll show you. So if you have this thing here, whoops, if you ever, whatever you have strapped, right, this will be my fist in this case. Turn it up against there, and it'll turn it pretty good without, with that, makes it so you can turn things in difficult places. Yeah, tolerances on this exhaust system are pretty tight, so I needed a bit more room right here against that. So what I did was loosen this, then twisted it so it's a little bit closer to that. So it's a finger away from there, and it's a finger away from there, which is as good as I can get it, I think. I don't think it'll... Then it just... it's right here on this now. I don't think that can go over anymore. Oh, that's where it is. Now I've got this exhaust strap stuff. Where am I? Bring a light back with me. So the heat shield, because I've modified this, the heat shield won't fit up in there anymore. Anymore. And mostly I just wanted around here to be shielded against this part of the transmission. So I've got some of that wrap. Wonder what I did with it. Saw it 2 days ago. I'll have to find it. Now put that wrap around it, and that should keep the heat inside the pipe, I think. Anyway, it acts like a heat shield, so I'll just do that exhaust wrap around this pipe here, and maybe I'll do it from here to here, here to there, somewhere like that, on both those pipes, so that they keep even amount of heat on them. I'm not going to worry too much about the down pipe there. So here's that heat wrap stuff, and it comes with stainless steel tie wraps. So it says, the instructions say you have to soak it in water for about 20 minutes before you start using it. So I'll do that tomorrow. I'll take my bucket and get some warm water in it for tomorrow. And it also says use rubber gloves because it's fiberglass stuff. Then if I start here, around here somewhere, and just wrap it up to about here somewhere, I think that would be very helpful. Okay, that's a tomorrow thing anyhow. Yeah, there it's running without the air pump. I think it likes it better without the air pump, eh? Seems to go all right. Still got that top end knock there, which is just, I don't know, goes away when you rev it a bit. Anyway, we'll be okay with that. Sounds pretty nice now. I like it without the air pump. Yeah, it turns out it wasn't that difficult to get that card off of that side, and I'll put those two little nuts on for holding the trim, so I'll get that done. On that door card over there came out okay, but it won't go back in. So I think what I'll have to do, or I'll be wrecking stuff, I'll have to take the back seat back out of it, which is a pain in the ass, but I guess that's something I can do. Just the bottom I think I have to take out. I think the top is okay, but we'll just see what happens. I'll take the bottom out, see if I can get it fitted in there, and then go from there. But that's tomorrow, had enough today. Okay, I didn't bore you with pulling the seat. I just took the bottom seat cover out, and I was able to move this out about this far, and able to get in there and get that fastened tight, that fastened tight. Other side's done also, and I put that little piece of wrap around it again, right on the inside of the window. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe you can see better on this side. Can you see that? Right in there. Okay, and so all back together. Now, only the third or fourth time I've taken this door card off. So I think I'll take it off again and see if I can get the door to sit a little bit better. Like here I am. Oops, it's closed. There, it's closed. Alrighty, see ya. So you see right along, can you see that? Right along in there, you can see air through there. Maybe you can see my finger. So that should be just a little bit farther that way. Oh well. And that would make sense here too, because that gap's a bit big. And it only needs like 1/8 of an inch, and then maybe up a bit to make that thing go. And then, but if I put it up a bit, then that there isn't going to be very good. So maybe just up a bit at the front, and the same at the back. And a little bit forward. I'll see what I can do. Okay, now I want the back of the door to stay at this level here. I've got a dot right there where the red line goes. And the front of the door, I put a dot here and here. And that's on the car. This is on the, what do you call that? On the door. I want this to come up about 3 millimeters. And then maybe 4 millimeters, and it wouldn't hurt. And then that would make, we hope this would fit better in there now, and then come forward a bit, but we'll see. Yeah, they're back to door card being off, right? This thing's more off than it is on. Anyhow, I'll see if I can get this adjusted up to the right spot. I've got a piece of wood in here with a clamp on it, and that's about right, just about right at the right height there at the back. Now I want it to go a little bit forward and a little bit up, and just see if that does. Now I've also removed this clasp here just so that I know where the door actually sits without the clasp on there. Then I can sort the clasp out later, I hope. It might need a spacer behind it here to, don't know why, but might need a spacer behind it to bring it this way a tiny bit. Maybe I saw a spacer like that somewhere. Don't know. Yeah, there, I don't mind that gap there. And that opens without interfering. That opens without interfering. Don't mind that gap there. And it looks like it's a little bit higher here, but that's okay, because that makes it so this comes in higher, and we'll close that gap in there, which I think is pretty well closed. Okay, let me just sit in the car and see if I can see light in there. That. Oops, sorry. I don't know where you were pointing. But still a little bit of light there, but I don't think the door isn't really closed tight yet. So I think that when it closes tight, we'll have a seal here. And if not, I'll just put something behind here to make that go over a bit, like just a bit of a spacer in there. Okay, I think we got it. Maybe this thing here is supposed to push it over and it's not on far enough. We'll just check that too. Yeah, there, you can't see light through there anymore, so if you push up on it a bit you can, but that's okay. It's that's reasonably well sealed. We'll let it settle for a while. Now put it all back together again. I'll just check the gaps outside here and see how I like it, and then we'll go from there. Good thing I have lots of that cellophane stuff. Yeah, like that gap. I'll turn on this thing here. I must have knocked it. Let's see what's going on up front here. That moved somewhere. That's about the same height, really. Maybe let's check it out here. So at the back, I'll just get this lined up. Yeah, so it looks like I went ahead just a tiny bit. Like here's where the mark was. That used to be there, right? And then it's about the same height. No, not much difference in the height. Maybe it's like an eighth of an inch, or yeah, an eighth of an inch higher than it was before there. And it's about exactly the same there, so that's good. And the gaps are looking better. That's a better gap than it had before there. It had a wide gap there. This is still pretty wide here, but I'll live with that. Then the gap here, I like that gap. That gap is a good size gap. And everything is tight now. I think that rubber was a little bit compressed because I pushed it out a little bit and it helped some. So anyway, everything comes together. So now I have to put that plastic stuff back on the inside of the door, put the door card back on for the 100th time, make sure I'm happy with it before I do that, and then that'll be done. Then I'll go work on by the time I get the door card in, what time is it now? 4 o'clock. By the time I get the door card on, it's going to be quitting time already. So tomorrow maybe I'll do the exhaust pipe stuff. Yeah, so it's January 1st, 2026 today, so Happy New Year to everybody. What do you want to do on New Year's Day of 2026? I guess work on a BMW is a good thing to do. No, this is a hobby or an obsession? We don't know. I guess it's both. So I'll carry on. Yeah, there, that gap is acceptable. That gap is very acceptable. So I'm happy there. Then over here on this side, that gap is good. and that gap is good. Now that's a bit high, so I can adjust that down a bit now, I hope. Door card's back on it for the umpteenth time, so that's back seat's back in it. These things are tied down. Everything's tied down tight. Yay. Okay, I think I'll adjust this a little bit here, see if I can make this come down a bit, and then that would be everything done. All the gaps okay. Oh, there's as far as I get today. So this, I brought this down a little bit to meet on that, and that gap there is the same as on the other side, and it feels good. Like that's a good gap. Other side, a little bit bigger gap here, so that means it could go this way some, and that might make that. Right now the catch is catching a bit, so if I can make this come this way a little bit, that might make the catch a little less. So I'll adjust, see if I can adjust it that way a bit, and see what happens. Okay, but that's all for today anyhow. Did well, got the door right, and you can't see through there, so I'm happy. And same on the other side, I think. Let me have a look at the other side. Yeah, the other side's got that. See the gap right there? That's a good, like a finger full, right? Let's see what this side here does. Yeah, it's about the same. It's pretty near exactly the same. A little bit tighter at the top, but that's okay. So it's looser at the bottom, tighter at the top. I'm not going to take it apart anymore. I'm happy. Yeah, just got started working out here today, January 2nd. Big wind today, and the power's gone out. So I'll go and get the generator going and make sure the house stays warm. This place here doesn't get hooked onto the generator. There, I spent some more time getting the roof or the hood to line up. That's nice there. This a little bit high here, but I like it that way a bit better. There's same on both sides. This is higher than that, but the door could come up a bit, which I think we discussed before, but it's not going to happen. So that's fine. Door opens fine and closes fine. Yeah, this thing here, same. It's above the door a little bit, so that's fine. I'm happy with that. And then while I was adjusting, don't you know, I got a little chip on there from that. Oh well, I'll get that cleaned up. I'll get some, I have to make up a batch of, what do you call that? A batch of touch-up paint, just to fix up all the little nicks I put in it, which are, oh well, that's how it goes. Anyway, I'm happy with that now. I'm happy with this gap here. I'm more happy with that gap now. That was pretty wide before, but it's not anymore. And this one here is not quite as wide as that side, but I'm gonna just live with it because whenever I tried to twist it around more, then it doesn't open and close properly on the center pin here, doesn't catch right. But it does now. And this door here works really nice. I like this door. But down here, when you loosen off on this thing, let's see, it was jamming. It was jamming down the, wouldn't open. But it does now, so that's good. So, happy with that. Now, in the mail today, or in the Amazon delivery today, that's a new pump. And that thing there, which is the stuff for it. I wonder what I did. Oh yeah, here's some nozzles. These nozzles here. So what I'll have to do is build, see where that nozzle there comes through, points right up there. I'm going to have to build a little platform or something to put the nozzle on. And then see what it'll point through. See what I come up with here. Okay, so now I've tried making a little stand in here for the windshield wiper thing, but it just squirts into the car. So I was able to move it up onto here, and it just fits in the inside two of those brackets there, and I'll tighten that up a little bit. You have to put the little holding bolt in upside down to make it work, so it grabs everything there. And then I'll have to run the hose. Now I've got this hose. This is the outlet hose. Used lots of water, that thing, because I poured water in there, but it's empty already. So I'll run this hose along here, down, I guess along somewhere underneath there, along here. There's a hole there I can get out through. Yeah, right there somewhere. Run it out that hole there, and then close to the hinge, and then back up through that side, up through here, and then across there. And that should make it so that I have both sides working. This thing here, too bad it didn't work underneath, because that would have been real easy to hose it up. The way it was before, these were right here, and they'd just, the hose would go right to there and get it done. But that pump works pretty good. It gathers up the water all right. So I'll get that put together and I'll show you. See how I find the best way to make that hosing work. We'll work on that. Okay, there's the hose goes down through here. I'll get this tidied up sometime in the future, or never. Well, I imagine I will. I got it tied on there. When it closes, it just goes into the headlight bracket there. This I'll get tied up so that it's up out of the way of all that gizmo there. And then when you close the hood, right, comes down, and I'll go in the car now and close the hood tight, try it out, see what it squirts, see where it squirts. Liable to squirt all over the place, right? Hang on. Okay, so windshield wipers work, right? Then you can just oh yeah, that side there squirts high. This side over here doesn't squirt as high. Wonder why. I think that one gets more pressure, right? But that's fine. It gets up to here. I'll have to do some. Maybe I can adjust that one higher. You can move those little nozzles up and down a bit, and it makes a difference. Huh, that seemed to work. And then water drains off onto the floor over there. Okay, I think we have windshield wipers. Whoops, that's off now. Okay, then I just hit that button once again, and that one beep says disarmed. Okay, that's interesting. Makes lots of water, hey? All that water just drains out there, which is what it's supposed to do. And I think it drains on the other side too. That's pointed up as high as it'll go. This side here goes a bit higher. I don't know why. Do you know? Not knowing. Oh, that one seems to be pointed up a bit higher. Wonder if I should switch that to there, but no, I'm not going to do that. That's just... So, they don't look too chintzy. They don't... Oh, I guess they're all right, eh? Every car on the planet has those on them now, but in the days of yore, when this was new, they just hid underneath here and squirted up through there. But it's not new anymore. Okay, that's windshield whoppers and wipers and everything, washers, everything works. So we've got, the car should pass inspection now. I think everything that it's supposed to have is on there. And we'll wait till spring before we do that. But a few more things to do. What was I going to do? The exhaust heat shield. Oh, look at this. You water the whole goddamn planet over here with that one. Oh well, that's good. I could move them in a little bit closer in here, and then it wouldn't water so far that way. Wonder how much it watered on this side. Not much. Not much. No, I'll just leave them where they are. They look okay. They're about, you know, central. Hey. Okay, that's enough for today. I gotta head the power out for a few hours, so I didn't do anything out here. And then when the power came back on, I came back out to work. Okay. There. Now, I don't know. Can you see that? There's all the hoses sort of tucked up out of the way. And that it works. But I ordered some different nozzles. The nozzles these are pretty cheap. And I ordered some that are a little bit more adjustable. Maybe it'll fit in there and look a bit better. We'll just see. And what I want to do is have it up here a bit higher on the window first. Squirting higher on the window. Anyhow, that's pretty good for now. And when it goes down, it all sits right into, like it all sits down in there. Doesn't get into anything that's moving. Anyway, that's good. Okay, that part's done now. I guess it's time to do the exhaust pipe business. Yeah, so where am I? Underneath here. Way underneath here. I'm going to take off this exhaust pipe. I've undone the screws there. I'll just take these two screws out. Or those ones. Yeah, I'll take these ones out. Don't really know how that works, but then I'm going to see about this thing here. See if this goes back up there somewhere. Not really sure how it fits in there, but it's sort of above all that stuff. Anyhow, if this fits in there, that'll be good. Yeah, I think I have a couple of pieces that don't belong to this car. This one here, there's no way it goes anywhere on this car. Don't know where it came from. And this piece over here, there's also no place for it to go on this car that I can find. Anywhere. Is it supposed to guard the drive shaft? No. Can't find anywhere where this would fit in this car. So, that's the way that is. Anyhow, so I've got that pipe off. I'm going to wrap it with the wrap stuff just to, that'll help it dissipate. Keep the heat inside the pipe and send it to the back so it doesn't affect anything here. But I don't think there was any heat shield here before. Don't know. Don't remember on my old cars what was here. There's a bolt here sticking out that's supposed to hold something. And a bolt there coming down that might hold. And there's this thing here. I don't know what that's for. Not knowing. Maybe it's supposed to be up like that. Holding something. I don't know. Don't know. Anyway, that's as much as I know for now. Yeah, so the instructions say to soak this stuff in water for 20 minutes, right? So that's soaking away. Let that soak. Then I'm going to wrap it from starting here. I'll wrap it up to here and then go through that stuff there to about here. I think is where I'll stop wrapping. Maybe here, wherever it is. Now, while I was here, I found just a little pinhole here, so I welded that up. Anyway, everything else is good. This thing here, the flange where it sits on there, like I think that's, can't see anything. Yeah, I see how that's hollow, but there was an inside to that, but it sort of fell out. So I just took it out of there, and hopefully that seals it up all right. Anyway, we'll just see. This used to be one of those sealing gaskets there, but I don't think that's the right one. Anyhow, doesn't matter. This goes on to there, and they come together. This end here comes onto it, so must seal pretty good because it wasn't leaking before. Anyway, I'll let it be. Then I need to get some lock washers for all those things, but I'll find them now while I'm waiting for this another 10 minutes. Yeah, there, that pipe's wrapped up like Christmas. This one I couldn't, this is where it ends right, where does it end? Right here. I got about 3 of them wrapped, 3 or 4 wrapped around there. Wrapped 2 at each end here where it sort of stops at the pipe. Then I just went around, right? And up here where it started, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them wrapped. 4 of those stainless steel. They're stainless steel, what do you call them? Tie wraps. Made in China, of course. Exhaust wraps. That's what they are. Okay, alright, so I'll put this back on the car, and that'll be the way it is, because I can't figure out that piece there, that I thought was a exhaust shield, doesn't fit in this car. It goes on some other car somewhere in Vancouver. Somebody's looking for that piece right there, and they're also likely looking for that other piece that I just can't find any place for. Anyway, there you go. I found where this piece goes anyhow. It goes right in here, and it guards the steering gear from the heat of the exhaust. Whoops, where? Right in there. There's 2 holes in, there's 2 holes in this thing. I thought I saw them. Anyhow, there's a couple of holes in here that bolts go through, and another hole back here that the bolt gets through. And that just makes a heat shield to keep the heat off the steering mechanisms, which is a good idea, I think. Okay, well, I'll just put that on there and then see if I can get the exhaust pipe back up into it. Yeah, there, that piece. That's a puzzle. Another puzzle done, eh? And it just keeps the exhaust off of this stuff here, or the heat of the exhaust off of that. Then I've got it wrapped, so it'll be okay. And I can't tell that other piece. Will I give it another try to see if it'll fit somewhere here? I don't think it'll fit anywhere. Now I put a thin coat of ultra copper on that gasket there, just because I've had it off once. And now I'll see if I can get the exhaust pipe to go back up there. Okay, hang on. That stuff there. Okay, that's all back on. I've got this heat wrap, or wrap, whatever it is, on here. And that'll smoke a bit and then it'll harden in. This piece here, I'm glad I found where that went. That's been on my mind for a long time. Well, not really on my mind, but it's been puzzling me about where it goes. That's got gap there. Not very much gap right there, but it's got a good gap right here. Keep it off of there. And to make this more gap here, I could loosen that and just twist the whole thing. That'll bring it closer to here, but I like it to that distance there. So anyway, looking pretty good. Looking like it was made to be there. I'm glad that fit in there. I'm happy with that. Okay, now what? Here's my light right here. Had it in my hand a second ago and put it down, right? Okay, so in the boot, there's 2 or 3 things to do here that I was on. These air vents are back in place. I used a heat gun and just sort of massaged them in there. Those are like, it's a flow through air system from the cab that just goes back into here. So that one and that one. Then there's the heat gun, right? Then in the back here, there's the gas tank, right? All the gas tank. Then this hose, this little line here, goes over to that expansion, what do you call that? Vapor expansion container. It's a sealed container, and there's 2 hoses coming out. One hose goes to here, the other hose comes down here and goes into the tank. So it's a complete circular system. So when you're pumping gas in here, it won't glug back. It'll glug back through there, and the pressure will come out here, and that goes out to this side here. There should be a little hole there somewhere, but I have to believe it's there. Anyway, that stops the vapors from building up in there and getting into the trunk. But it is a sealed system then. Should be some way for it not to have a vacuum, eh? I don't know. I don't know whether that's got a little vent in it or not, that gas cap. Might. Because when it sucks the fuel, gotta be something that lets it go free, right? There's not a return from the front. I want to just check this gas cap. Maybe the gas cap's got a vent in it. Yeah, I think the gas cap has a bit of a vent in it. Hard to say. Don't know. Not knowing. Anyway, I'll wait and see what happens. If it stalls, then I know it's not. I know I've got something wrong, right? Interesting. Anyway, that's all I know for now. That's unless this certain thing is supposed to go right to the front of the car and create a vacuum up there. Don't know. I don't see any places for the hoses to go up to the front of the car unless they go through the cab, and I don't believe that gas vent hoses should go through the cab. So I'm going to leave it as it is there now and just see what happens. I've got these things here. There's two of them. I'll clean them up. They just sit into the trunk there or into the boot, and I'll take my rag and just wipe that dust off in there. I also have the spare tire, which is over in the other shop, and I think it's the original spare tire that came with this car. I'll check the date code on it and see what it is, but I'll do that later when I bring the tire over here one of these days, which will maybe be tomorrow. Anyway, let's clean these up and see how they look inside the trunk. Yeah, there's a bit of before and after. Before and after. Makes a nice difference. Yeah, there. That's the trunk in there. This one here, this side, on this side here, gets screwed down, permanent, sort of. And that side there, you're going to be able to lift it up so you can get the spare tire out, which we'll get in there later. And then I have another piece of dirty leather that can go up and lay up there. I found it and wondered where it went, but that's where it goes. Okay, so that's that done. That looks pretty good. I'm going to close it up, and then in the past, every time I opened it, there'd be vapor smells in here because that vapor lines were still open. So I'm going to close it up overnight and see how it smells tomorrow. Okay, there we go. And then I'm pretty near ready to declare this thing done. And too bad I have to wait till spring before I get it inspected, but I wouldn't want to be dragging it around in the middle of winter. Mind you, I dragged it home last year in the middle of winter. But we'll wait until the roads are fairly clear, and then we'll take it in and get it inspected. I think I better talk to the insurance company and say it's worth a bit more than what I told them at the beginning, because I think it is. Anyway, a few more things to do on it. Like there's a coil coming for it. What else did I order? I ordered a distributor cap and a rotor, which I should have ordered a long time ago. And those windshield whopper cleaner things, a couple of different types of them, and a few other things. I forget what, but I'll come back out tomorrow and we'll get the spare tire into it and check on the age of the spare tire. These tires here were 2013 was when they were put on. Well, 2013 is the date on the tires on the front. 2012 is the date on the tires in the back, but they're both, the same amount of wear, so I imagine that they went on then. So likely, and it's not much mileage on them, so likely 2014 or 15 was the last time it was on the road. I forget what that sticker said in the front here. Oh, that was 1976 inspection sticker. So who knows when it was last roaded on the road. Sometime in, 10 years ago maybe. So 10 years since it's been on the highway. We'll give or take a bit. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Yeah, so I'll carry on. Got a new badge for the front. Fits nice. It's the back one. The badge is different. So see, that doesn't quite fit right. So I'll have to see about getting the proper badge for this thing. Anyway, I'll leave that one on there for now. Yeah, there. Those are pretty well ready. I'm gonna take some steel wool and see if I can get that cleaned up a bit better. This side here, there was this rubber had fallen. Oops, where am I pointing? This rubber had fallen out, and so I glued it back in, cleaned it up, glued it back in. Seems to be okay. This rubber on this side's okay. I won't screw with it, but I'll get some steel wool and some soap and see what happens about. See if I can get that cleaned up a bit better. Yeah, that looks a bit better now. There's some stains in here that just won't come off. Don't know what they are. And there's somebody got some paint on there, but I don't think you'll see that once it's on the car. So it's okay. And down here I guess I can get in there and get that grease out of there, right? Okay, these things came along from FCP Euro rocker panel clips. Now, they will fit in there all right. So they should hold it all together, I hope. We'll just see how it works out. I think that they're made to just, you know, clip in there. But, oh, it's got to go the other way around. This way. Yeah, there's a little bit of a hooky tab right there. Okay. Anyway, I'll get them put onto the car. I'll show you that. Then I'll see about getting those on. Then yesterday I made, I don't know if I showed you that, but I made two things like that. They only need one per. It'll go there. And then that goes to the front of the car. Right down there. I'll show you when I get there. And I think this is for the passenger side. So I'll put that on first. And then I'll put the driver's side on. Hang on. Yeah, so this area down here, this area down here, from here over, it's a new rocker panel I welded in there. So there were no holes. So I've got my laser level out, and it goes from this level here along. Then I took the measurements from the other side and just transferred it to this side to where the holes go. Drilled them out to, oh, what size is that? What size is that? 5/16 of an inch, and then I just put in one of these things as a test to make sure that it actually works, right? So I'll put in the rest of these things along this side. This has got to go here like this. That end goes there, and there's a little underneath the door. There's a little bit of a hoopy in the body there, and this is made to go over it. So we'll just see if I can get this on here now and see how it looks. Yeah, there now, all those clippy things are in place. This one here gets a bolt, and I'll put a fender washer behind that, right? Okay, let me find the doings for that. There, you don't even want to know how long it took to get that on there, but it's solid now. It's got this solid screw in here, and I put a bit of silicone behind that. Mind you, water can get in there anyhow, but that's okay. Then one of the holes along here, it was too rounded out, and it wouldn't hold the clippy thing in, so I drilled a new hole and just covered the old one with a piece of tape. And then down here, these are all clippy things down here holding it, and they seem to be pretty good. So, but I had a mark. See how I've got that marked with a little bit of magic marker there? Every one of the clippy things, because I had to go on the inside, and I'll show you on this. Oh, this one here, which I'll likely have to do the same thing. Had to go on the inside where all the clippy things hit, and just bend this stuff out a bit, because over the years that stuff got like over the years it got bent in. Like it was it was painted a couple of times, this car. So I imagine this stuff's been off. And then when they bash it back on, it doesn't get perfect, right? So I went back and marked all the places where the clippy things go, and then I sort of bent this out, just take a pair of pliers and bend that up a bit. Anyway, that did the job. So now it's on there, it looks pretty good. That's the last piece of trim for that side. I'll get the other side on and see how it looks over there. Yeah, then this side here just went on, like, took 5 minutes. Clip, 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 it was done. Isn't that just enough to wrangle you? Oh well, there we go. I have to clean these wheels. I think I'll do that. And just about call this one done. Yeah, there we go. I think it's done. This is those trim pieces along the bottom of the doors are in both sides. This side here certainly was easier than the other side for some reason. Well, doesn't matter. Done. And then I think that, like, what happened was we got lots of work done. New battery, had it running again, and the lights all work, and tapping, a little tack 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 happening in the transmission housing. I don't know what's going on there. It'll manifest itself at some day, I'm sure. And then put some antifreeze in it, finish the trim, and where the back seat was, I had to take the back seat out, sort of, and adjusted the driver's door so that it's fitting better than it was. It was fitting poorly. So what else we got down here? Got the windshield washers on there, whopper, and wrapped up the exhaust. And I found a place for that heat guard that I was wondering where it was, and I installed the mats in the trunk. So everything it all went along pretty good. Lots of work. And then I think, here we are. It's time to, maybe we'll put a bow on it, will we? Hey, when it's done. I think we're done. Hey, how's that? That looks pretty good. So that would be nice to see it finished. Don't know what it'll bring in next, but it's nice to be finished with this one. I think that Buster approves of the finished product, and it's a pretty good looking car. In fact, it's a really good looking car. I'll get it out and this is what's outside right now. Yuck. Oh, so we're not going out there with it. But what we'll do is it's supposed to warm up this week, and so I'll likely switch it over with the what do you call that? The Porsche. Bring the Porsche in here and do a little bit of work on it. It just needs some remedial work, we'll say. Okay, that's all for this week. Hope you enjoyed it all, and hope you enjoyed this whole series. So we'll see you next time around. Yeah, sometime in January, right? Looks nice and sunny and everything like that, but pretty darn cold around here. That heater in the pond isn't keeping up at all. Anyway, minus 15 or minus 18 overnight, something like that. Pretty cool. Well, we'll head down to the beach and see how it looks down there. Yeah, they're nice and sunny, but cold, cold, cold. All the ice is drifted over to the other side there. There's a big old eagle there, swooping around. That's nice to see. Lots of ice blowing up on shore. Anyway, there's cold, cold, cold at the beach. A few ice cakes coming around now.